Punch Out Boxing, delighted to be here with Tyler Denny here at the press launch for the show in Birmingham in, Easter Sunday. You a religious man yourself?
Um, nah, not really, not really. But I mean, it's just mad how it's ended up on there. But bank holiday, innit? Bank holiday.
Yeah, should get a good turnout for everyone because we'll have Monday off. Yeah, Tyler, before we go into the upcoming fight, can just reflect on that night at Wembley. I think my colleague Rico spoke to you after it. I think we all agreed it was a bit of a soft stoppage. Yeah, you got caught. I thought when you got up, eyes were still clear. We know you're an endurance fighter. Referee should really have let you had the chance to try and get through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought so at the time, but at the same time, it's my own fault. I shouldn't be on the floor, should I, in the first place? So you give the ref a choice to make. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that'll be the end of that, and no more times on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before that, you'd never been down. What's the difference in punching power for someone like Hamza, who's fair to say he's world level?
Yeah, I think it's just maybe the accuracy on where he caught me, caught me on the top of the head, and just scrambled me a bit. Do you know what I mean? But I think being so tall, he's probably punching down on a lot of opponents anyway. So I think that's just where he's going to caught me. But you know what? Fair play to him. I've got no excuses. I had a great camp, and the better man won on the night.
But as I said there up on the table, there's still loads of great fights out there for you. Starting with this guy, Elvis Ahorga. Like you said, he's a character. Against Callum, who's a huge super middleweight, it was probably outside. So against you, it might be a bit more of an even fight.
I hope not. I'm not planning it to be more of an even fight. Um, I mean, him and Callum is him and Callum, but I'm looking to do what I do. Do you know what I mean? Get back to winning ways, and you know, his game, first some wild shots. So I think it'll be a fun fight to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to what he brings at the press conference. But yeah, what do you make of him as a fighter? Like you said, his game swings a bit wildly, looks to land big punches.
Yeah, I think someone that's always dangerous. Do you know what I mean? So you got to give him respect. You got to give him respect, and I've only got the Callum fight to go off, and Callum never had nothing to go off. So at least I've got that, I suppose. But I think as boxers, we adapt anyway. In sparring, I spar people you've never sparred before, and you know you might chuck one guy in for 3 rounds, another guy in for three, another for three. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm just looking to look good and get the win.
Yeah, and the domestic middleweight scene, it's quite in a bit of a state of flux, I guess. I think Denzel might have vacated the British title. You know, there's a whole load of you guys. I think you'd have a little mini tournament. Like, there's you, Troy, he's coming out on Twitter complaining that you didn't get a fight with him. There's Brad Pauls, who you've obviously fought before. Kieran Conway. Would you like the British title and go up against some of your British rivals?
I just want the biggest fights out there for the most money. I tell you straight, man. That is as simple as that for me. There's loads of good fights out there, and listen, you don't have to look at my CV. Like, say my last two fights, I fought Amdi Shiraz and Felix Cash. Do you know what I mean? My CV speaks for itself. If you want to give beyond that, I fought Derek River when he was unbeaten. Do you know what I mean? Brad Ray, Brad Paul. So, you know, McGowan's a tough fight as well. I beat the European champion when he had the belt. So, you know, I don't need to defend myself about whatever. Like, I take fights, man, and here I am.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, I mean, the British title, that is one that you haven't ever won. Is that something you'd like to add to your CV?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, if I had the British title along with the belts that I've got as well. I'd always look for it if I got the opportunity. But I just want the money. I'd take a bigger money fight over the British title. And that's just being real with you, man. That's just being real. But if that got offered me, then I'm all over it, man. Definitely.
That's cool. You guys are prize fighters after all, aren't
So
you?
I'm 33 now. I've got 4 kids. Listen, I've done alright in boxing, man. I've done alright, but you always want to do. You want to carry on, don't you? Keep getting better, keep getting more money. It's a short career, so I got to make the most out of it while I can.
And how do you assess the middleweight scene, like both world and domestically? See, Hamza's got that world title shot in a couple of weeks. Do you think he'll deal with Adames?
Um, I hope so. Hamza's a cool guy, do you know what I mean? But Adama's world champion, man, as well. So, you know, you have to put respect on his name. Like I say, I hope so. But it's a world level fight, and we'll see, man. But what a card that is! That's probably the best card ever. Do you know what I mean? Like so, and like I would have loved to be the part of that. Do you know what I mean? But Hamza beat me. Hamza goes on, and I wish him nothing but the best, man.
Yeah, indeed. And what about Denzel? We've seen him look devastating at times, but he had a bit of a hard night's work against Brad Pauls, but it's mandatory. Do you think he can go on and win one of those world titles?
Um, potentially. It depends. I think he's managed for Janibek, but I know he's already lost to Janibek. But I mean, when that first got made, that was meant to be a walk in the park for Janibek, and it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It's a good fight. So, you know, all the best to him, man. Like I root for all these British guys, man. Unless they're fighting me, then do you know what I mean? Then that's how it is.
And as for yourself, I mean, we've seen in this game one or two good wins. You can be back up in the world rankings. Looking at the middleweight, do you think there's some duff fighters get ranked high? I mean, like I think the IBF mandatory final eliminator has been called, and Etienne, I think the German-based guy. I'm sure the level they're fighting at there isn't as high as the level over here.
Yeah. I mean, that's a conversation for another day. Governing bodies and their ranking system and stuff like. Some people have never had really much fights, but they're in top 10. So I mean, that's a discussion for another day. It's not up to me really, but I got no answer in it really. For some reason, you can pick a guy out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you're in the top 5 of a finger. So it's a bit mad really, but that's boxing for you, isn't it?
And come through with a good win against Elvis. How soon do you want to be out again?
Listen, I refuse to look past this fight, man. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, in hindsight, you'd like to be out as much as possible, but unless I win and look good winning, I could get out of calls. Do you know what I mean? So, like, always your toughest fight is always your next one, and that's why I'm treating this one.